Yo, what up people, welcome back to another Apex Legends guide. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at another one of my favorite legends who's underused, probably because his abilities aren't as powerful as the more popular legends. At this point I think it's safe to say that I love characters that no one else likes to use. Also, in some of these clips my aim is pretty much garbage. I'm transitioning from playing on controller to mouse and keyboard, so just bear with me. So Mirage is actually extremely useful and fun to play, so let's take a look at his three abilities. His tactical Psych Out, his passive Encore, and his ultimate the Vanishing Act. Starting with his tactical Psych Out, Mirage can send out a running decoy of himself. Mirage's decoys are interesting. They mimic your position, so if you're crouching, running, or even sliding when you send one out, it'll be copying you. His decoys are inconsistent, however. Sometimes they can run over rocks and up hills, and other times the slightest change in the terrain will stop them from moving. I've been using him for a long time, and that's probably the most annoying thing about him. Only the person that's playing Mirage sees the blue trail, so to everyone else it just looks like Mirage is running normally. You actually run faster than your decoy, so wait a second before you start running behind it, because if you run in front of it sometimes that may cause it to stop as well. Next is his passive Encore. When you get knocked down, you deploy a decoy that acts like you while you turn invisible for 5 seconds. It's very useful for crawling away while in a hectic gunfight. And lastly, his ultimate, the Vanishing Act. Mirage deploys a bunch of decoys around himself and turns invisible. You can't shoot or take up guns while you're invisible, but you still can open and close doors. So here's how to use Mirage's decoys. His decoys are useful for getting intel. It isn't listed, but when you send out a decoy, if an enemy shoots it, you'll hear a sound and it'll actually ping their location and distance for 3 seconds. It isn't limited to just bullets though. Any damage inflicted by an enemy will ping their location, so a smart thing to do is actually send your decoy into things that cause damage. But that's not all. His decoys can actually interact with the environment and other legends' abilities. Like Octane's jump pad, you can set off caustic traps, and even go up the geysers. If you're being chased by a squad, send a decoy towards them every now and then to gauge how far away they are. The best places to randomly send your decoys are into buildings, open areas like the city, or in the tunnels where the vaults are. People normally tend to camp those areas, and they will shoot at anything that passes. The second thing they're good at is actually being a distraction. The decoys actually keep noise when they're running, so this is great for tricking people into thinking that someone is coming, which is useful if you're flanking or trying to escape. Send your decoy one direction while you go the opposite. So here's how you play Mirage. He's all about distraction and intel. His abilities don't help the team, only himself, so you need to play smart but still pretty aggressive. When in gunfights, use your decoys to help you gain the positional advantage over your enemies. While they're distracted by your decoy, push towards them, or you can go in for the flank. When deploying decoys, break lines of sight immediately. Don't let anyone see you and your decoy at the same time. Which leads to the next point. Mirage is actually very good for surviving. You can send out decoys while doing most actions, healing, ziplining, and even while shooting, and also while you're dropping in. When you get knocked down, crawl behind cover and get out of sight while you're still invisible, so enemies have to search for you. Again, this is pretty useful if you're in a hectic gunfight. You can crawl away while they're still distracted, or just to kill time until your teammates can get to you. His ultimate is great for pushing up on enemies while invisible or for escaping. I tend to use it for escaping and getting out of situations where I know for sure I'm gonna die. If you're fighting Mirage and he disappears, he's only invisible. His footsteps still keep noise, and also you need to look out for visual cues like the dust on the ground or doors opening and closing by themselves. The key to playing Mirage is being unpredictable while making your decoys seem as predictable as possible. It's a battle royale, so everyone is constantly on high alert because of other squads. They're trigger happy and they listen for footsteps to tell when people are coming. Mirage takes advantage of that because when people see movement or hear someone coming, 9 times out of 10 they will not hesitate to shoot first, which is why a lot of people tend to shoot Mirage's decoys. It's all about mind games. Another tip is to constantly keep moving. You don't want to sit one place and just be sending decoys the same direction over and over, because people will recognize and they will stop shooting at them. So keep moving and sending your decoys from different directions. This is how you keep people confused. But yeah, that's the end of this short guide for Mirage. If you found this helpful, you can leave a like and share it around. And if you think I left out any tips that would be helpful to other people that want to learn Mirage, you can leave them down in the comment section down below, and subscribe for more Apex Legends content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.